Hey everybody, welcome back to the newest episode of my complete playthrough of Billy Saves the World. I apologize for the long break in between episodes. The reason was I had recorded it several times and I kept losing the footage for some reason. The footage kept getting deleted, and because the game is structured in that once you only have one save file, and so once I progressed, I was stuck. I couldn't go back and redo the episode. I would have to replay the entire game up to this point that we're at right now, and I would have to actually do it the exact same way that I did in the videos. And so I did that 2 times. I replayed the entire game, doing everything the exact same way, getting to this point, recording a new episode, and then lost the footage. I got sick of it. I put it away for a couple months. Now we're back. I might not even remember what I was doing, but yeah, so if there's a little bit of a disconnect between last episode and this episode, that is why. But I watched a little bit of the last episode. I know that I'm going to be talking to this guy here. This is Morp. We met him in the last episode. We did talk to him while he was sleeping, and we kind of found out that he was leaving clues as to what kind of person he is. So maybe if we say that we're the same kind of person, he'll like that. So he has his own raisin preference, and he's asking us what our raisin preference is. We can say I like raisins on their own, I like raisins in things, I hate raisins, I like raisins in all ways, I gotta go sorry. He likes cinnamon buns, he likes Raisin Bran. These are all things, and if you talk to him while he's sleeping, he gives you a clue as to what kind of preference he has. And so if you put 2 and 2 together, you know that he likes raisins in things. So let's say that. Wow, me too. Let's be friends. Okay, so we have something in common. Now we're friends. There's his little animation. All that work for that one time in the game. My name is Morp, and I come from a place called Glorp, where tragically it is customary for every child to have a name that rhymes with Glorp. So this character, here's a little bit of a, behind the scenes comment here. Morp was a character I created, but a lot of this dialogue and his backstory was actually created by Chris Nelson, who gets a credit as one of the additional writers in the game. At one point, I had an item. It was kind of like a Pokedex, where every creature or enemy you met would go in this Pokedex, and it would give you a little biography about that creature. If it was an enemy, it would tell you their weak spots, that kind of thing. Anyway, every creature had a little bit of a backstory, and I thought that his backstory for this character was so funny that I found a way to work it into this dialogue here. So Chris came up with the idea that Morp would be from a planet where all creatures on that planet are named after something that rhymes with Glorp. And then he also came up with this other part in here that I think is really funny that I kept in, and I found a way to work it into the conversation here. So he's been having a really bad day. He had to close his bakery because no one was eating any of his delicious buns. He couldn't find the right raisin ratio to satisfy anyone. It could have also been due to his very vocal and controversial stance on capital punishment. That was the joke that Chris had written. I love that joke. One of my favorites, so I found a way to work it into this. I didn't want all that work to go to waste, so that is how Morp was created. So Morp is actually one of several creatures, including you, Billy, who have been mysteriously transported to this planet. And Morp's just kind of making the best of it. So now he's sleeping. I talked too long, so now I actually wanted to keep talking to him, but now he's asleep, so I can't complete this mission here. What else can I do in the meantime? What else do I have here? So befriending slime. Okay, let's do that. So we left that. Okay, cool. So there's a couple things we can do while we wait for it to wait for time to pass. We got to come back here anyway. So I believe in the last episode we also met Chaz, who is in the Hall of the Dead, and he's kind of protecting or watching over one of the monuments, and the monuments are how you get more hearts. And so they're pretty valuable. If you want the game to be easier for you, I highly recommend trying to get as many hearts as you can as early as possible in the game. And I did give you a clue last episode how to solve this. So I'm not gonna beat around the bush this time. I'm gonna just solve it. Now, if you're more of an adventure, if you're more of a action-focused gamer, you can just complete a few levels. I mean, I even have enough right now. I have 584 SP. You can just bribe Chaz. You can go to the Hall of the Dead, give him, I think, 500 SP. It might be more, maybe less, I forget. And you can just bribe him, and he will take the bribe, and he'll leave, and then you can have access to the monument. That's for people who don't want to waste their time thinking or solving this puzzle. For other people who may not be as good at platforming, you can solve this in a clever way, which is you can pay attention to what he says and read the journal entries, and you will discover that perhaps if you look like one of them, a fellow alien inhabitant, then maybe you can get through. So you can use the Strange-O-Matic to blue yourself, and now that you're blue, you actually look like one of the alien locals. Kind of. And now that you look like one of the locals, you can just actually talk to Chaz, and, well, we'll see what happens. We'll find out. Hopefully by the time we get there, it'll be daytime. Now, which heart do we want next? I forget which one I bought the 2 other times I've done this video. I think the spirit heart. But I might... yeah, I'll do the spirit heart. I might do the Alchemist heart and get that out of the way just to kind of teach people. I've already went over it a little bit about what it does and how to use it, but now that you can see in the previous video, you know, how I've got all these things here, you know, I've got these ingredients. I don't know what they are. See, they have question marks, and I'm not sure what this is. And when you try to combine them, you have no idea what you're doing because you don't have the Alchemist heart. If you have the Alchemist heart, all that kind of stuff is easier. A lot easier. It just tells you all the answers. So we'll take a look at that and how it makes life easier. I realize that some people might not even want to hear me talk during this, and I apologize to those people, but the point of this playthrough is not only to be a complete guide, but also offer commentary, so that even if you've already beaten the game, there's a reason to watch this video, because I'm going to give little insights on the making of the game, little behind-the-scenes nuggets of info. Here we go. So hopefully it's daytime. No, he's still sleeping here. He should wake up pretty soon. But I was considering at one point releasing a version where I don't talk at all, because I know that annoys people a lot sometimes, but you can't win them all. All right, so now that we're friends, care to challenge me? So this, man, I lucked out twice in a row with this, and I know I can't do it a third time, but we'll see. So now that you're friends, you can play a game of Schmuck, Schmape, Schmish. It's just a stupid version of rock, paper, scissors, right? So Schmuck, you can say, you can ask him he'll explain the rules, but Schmuck is rock, Schmape is paper, and Schmish is scissors. You each pick a thing, and now the fun fact about this is that one of the gameplay implementators, Andreas, he implemented this little game here. He did an insanely good job here, to the point where it was supposed to feel random, but because we don't have the ability to make randomized stuff, like in this game, in our engine, we had no way of actually randomizing it, so we had to do it all with just like logically kind of thing, like in sequential. And even though it is like that, he's somehow found a way to make it feel very random, and it is hard. You can find a pattern, but it's pretty hard, and it really surprised me. Like, I get stuck here all the time. So here we go. The trick is you got to beat him 3 times in a row. That's the tricky part. So we both pick Schmape. I'm going to stand far away from him just so we can actually see each other's answers. Sometimes they overlap and it's kind of annoying. There we go. Schmuck, schmuck. All right, we both a tie. Now the funny thing is, you might think, okay, well, every time you pick schmuck on the first try, it's always schmuck. No, that's not the case. That's why I'm saying it's very weird. It feels that way, but it's not. So like, so he won. All right, so if he's always picking schmuck and he just beat me when I was schmish, that means I should be able to pick schmape, be paper, and cover his schmuck, right? See? Okay, it's still schmuck. Okay, that's not always the case. So right now it's tricking me. Right now it's luring me into this sense of victory, but that's not. He doesn't always pick schmuck the first time. All right, so I've got the hang of it already. Now I got to beat him twice. So I've done paper. I've done schmape. Now there is one. I do know there is a pattern at one point that I discovered. I don't remember what it is. All right, got him again. I want to. Is it 3 schmapes in a row sometimes? We'll try it. I think this is where I lose. I think I'm supposed to pick schmish or even schmuck. We'll try it. Let's see. Maybe I'll beat him right away. Yeah, see? He's schmish. So he cut me. So I was supposed to do schmuck there. All right, so let's keep going. I apologize if this takes forever. Let's see if I can get him back into this. Yeah, okay, I got him in this little... This might be one of the best versions of this game in this video where I got the easy pattern right away. So he should be schmish. Oh, we're both schmuck. See, I should have done the 3. See how it's not the same? If I had done schmape 3 in a row, this time I would have won. So the pattern's not always the same. It feels like it is, but it's not. All right, so got to do it again. What should I do? I feel like I do schmish. He'll also do schmish. If I do schmape, he'll do... I'll try this again. I feel like he's not always going to do that. I don't know. And he's going to do schmish now, I bet. No? Okay, I win. Sweet. Great. Alright, so you just watched, thankfully for this video's sake, you watched one of the easier kind of patterns that can happen. It's not always that easy. Sometimes it's really difficult. But schmape is a good one to start with, I feel like. Try to get yourself into that pattern there. But I've seen people do that for like 45 minutes. All right, so we're back here. This is the Hall of the Dead. Hall of the Dead. This is where they bury their dead. We're gonna speak to Chaz, who's trying to get mouth freak tickets in the capital. My replacement is finally here. Alright, so I solved that. You're us Googleac. The realist man. That's a little shout out to my brother's imaginary friend when he was a kid. He had two of them, Googleac and Jombie, I believe the names were. Alright, so should we do the Alchemist heart? feel like maybe I would say if you're playing this game, do the Spirit Heart. It's nice to have SP. It's nice to have your SP doubling all the time. But for the sake of this video, and I forget what I did last time, but I'm gonna do Alchemist Heart. I think I did the Spirit Heart last time. So now I have the Alchemist Heart, so now you can see all those things, I'll show you here in a sec, all those things that used to be question marks are now no longer question marks. So this is Cosmic Dust. Now we just know what these items are. Oh, I think I know why I didn't do the Alchemist Heart yet. Oh well, it doesn't matter. So these particles are tough to trap as they zip around space in the blink of an eye. So each item description are supposed to be little hints as to what they might be used for. So keep that in mind. What does that sound like to you? They zip around in the blink of an eye. Fast, speedy, right? A fine finish for many creations. Tasty, spicy, and it glows, so it looks cool. So this glows, right? Here we have a potion of bright, so these glow, right? So, and it's even the same color. So it's like, they're little hints, all right? The perfect base for just about any concoction. This is water. We knew that already surfaced to us. So we have all this stuff now, and now when we combine things, it'll actually tell you, see on the right-hand side, I don't even have to try combining them. It says mud at the bottom. So I already know that that's going to make mud. I already know that that's not going to do anything. This is going to make a potion of mystery. So there's no sense combining things that you don't need. This does booster juice. And I believe, I can't remember if we talked to JTT before, but yeah, JTT in Joe's tells us about how handy booster juice is. So we can use this. How much? I got 3 of those and 2 of those. Let's make one of those. So this is the most important part of crafting here, in my opinion. So if you're going to be if you like crafting, pay attention. If you don't care about crafting, you don't need to pay attention. But through talking to other creatures on the planet, you will be told how to make booster juice. They tell you how to make booster juice, how to mix it. They give you hints, blah, 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 blah. Booster juice is the #1 base for everything. So you need to have booster juice in order to make any other potion in the game. So the most important mixture in this game is water and critter blood. Water and critter blood make booster juice. Now that you have booster juice, you can combine it with pretty much anything and it will make something. So you've got this, potion of speed. You got this, it's now potion of bright. You got grass, it's a health booster. So now you can get all these things for free. You never have to spend a single dime, a single SP on potions and stuff. So you got free reign to just make stuff on the go. If you're ever in a pinch and you don't have enough SP to buy a potion, now you know what to do. It's really helpful. It's a way for me. I know a lot of people don't like crafting. I don't even like crafting in video games, but I wanted to include it for people who do. Plus, combining items is a pretty common thing to do in adventure games, and I wanted to try to utilize that. To me, it's not crafting. To me, it's just item combinations. Like Monkey Island, you combine the chicken suit with a bucket of slime and it becomes whatever, and you use that item to get out of a jam to solve a puzzle. Same idea, we're just combining items and they just happen to have different effects. So it's kind of a mixture of, it's my modernized version of adventure games / crafting. But it's really helpful because you can go to Joe's, which we're gonna just pass right here. You go to Joe's, you can buy some potions for cheap. They're even cheaper now in the new update. You can buy them on the go, and they're also cheaper now in the newest updates here. They're only 50 SP now. But look at this, like these are 100 SP. These are 100 SP. Sometimes you might need those, and that's a lot of SP, even if you've got a lot, even if you've played the game for a while, that's a lot of SP. So instead, you can just go combine certain things and make yourself a potion of speed for free. Or let's say you need some health you really need some health. You're stuck at a part and you don't want to die. You don't want to get hit one more time and start over. Mix this. Get yourself a health booster. So the Alchemist Heart is pretty handy. And I don't know why this is. It's really funny. I've never seen a single person figure out the crafting in this game. And I've seen them try. I know lots of people just don't care about it. I've seen a couple people make a point of trying to figure that out. And the funniest thing is they go to their inventory. They'll even say like, okay, let's just try combining everything to figure out how to do this. And for some reason, no one ever... They'll combine water with everything. They'll go like this, 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 and they stop. And I'm like, they never combine Critter Blood. I don't know why. It's really weird. No one ever combines these two, and it's the most important one, and it's the one that you're told to do in Joe's. I think actually a number of creatures tell you to do that, but it is a little hidden. But it's that way on purpose. I wanted people to discover it. And there's another way to find this all out as well, which is, let's say you can't figure out how to get the Alchemist heart. You can go to Fitz in the lab here. Do I already have that? No, I don't. Let's go talk to Fitz. I'll show you what I mean. I'm going to leave myself blue for now because there's a little hidden Easter egg I'm going to show you if you stay blue. Or if you stay smelly. Oh, there's a coin up here. So if you keep talking to Fitz, she'll tell you a bunch of stuff. Oh, not yet. That happens later. Sorry, I'm all confused because of the multiple playthroughs I've done of this game. So you eventually can get a side quest from Fitz, and yeah, we'll talk about that later. Let's just continue on with the actual game here, because these episodes are going to take forever if I keep straying here. If you hear... Oh, yeah, okay. So, listen. Look at that. We can hear an Explorer coin, and this little platform opens its eye. That's weird, I don't know. But our main quest now is to find Bronson and meet him just west of the ISC. So this is west of the ISC, right by the cave over here. And there he is. Still have this chest here. That's a line I took from one of my friends in high school. His name was Enver. He used to always say that all the time. Snake eyes, goose eggs. Got it? So this conversation actually changes depending on what you do in the game. So if you were to come here with one heart, or if you didn't have like some health boosters with you, Bronson would actually he would actually say like, "What are you doing? Like, go." You're gonna go on this quest with like minimal health and like no supplies. Like, go get some supplies. So the game actually tries to help you out there and kind of encourages you strongly to stock up on stuff before coming here, because this can be challenging. I have tried to make it a little bit more streamlined and easier over the last few months. And I've now included in the latest update this sign here. I don't like doing this. I hate doing this kind of stuff, but too many people were getting confused. So I just put kind of a tutorial in this cave here. So you can read this sign now. So if you press the slide button while in the air to stomp, this will activate sleeper platforms. It's also the perfect way to pull Billy to the ground faster and time your jumps better, or dodge out of the way incoming projectiles. So, see that? You can kind of see how I slam myself down? It's a really important technique here. It doesn't seem like much. Oh, interesting. Oh, so that's how you open chests. You can stomp on them. That means we can go out here and get this chest. Nice. Health booster. So normally you just fall normally like this, right? If you're just jumping. But if you stomp, it's way faster. And that's handy because sometimes you will be in a cave where a fireball is flying towards you, or maybe you're trying to jump to a moving platform, and if you want to land on it sooner, you can use the stomp to time your jumps. It's such a handy maneuver. So now let's stomp on this guy. It wakes him up, the eye opens up on the platform, you can see it, and it moves over. So if you forget, we're going through, so this part's all different. If you played this game on launch, this part's slightly different. This is a new update. Looks like another message from Bronson. So I kind of redesigned this area slightly, just a little bit. So this is trying to tell you about slide jumping, just reiterating how important slide jumping is. So again, we've went over this before, but slide, jump. You see that little pop? It even makes a popping sound when you do it correctly. You can also, if you find slide jumping is difficult because it's on the X button, that means you gotta hit the A button with kind of the bottom part of your thumb. You can also slide with the triggers, and that makes it super easy. So the R and L also slide. And that way you can just hold that down and press jump, and it will jump, and it goes perfectly over spikes. So if you ever see one of these spikes, don't even bother trying to jump over it, just slide jump. Your slide jump is the perfect speed and height to avoid getting hit by those things. If you try to just jump over it normally, you will get hurt. Slide jumping is so crucial in this game. It will allow you to do so much. I think this sign says this as well. Yeah, I'm serious about slide jumping. I really, truly, try to learn slide jumping. It's so helpful. So this gap here is just long enough that if you, I think you can make it normally, but it's meant to be just long enough so that you should use a slide jump to get across. I'm gonna make a note of this chest. I'm not gonna open this chest. For the complete playthrough, if I were you, don't open this chest, and I'll show you why that is later on. So that's how you get that coin. So Bronson and I are trying to find Professor Lee. He's one of the crew's interns. What's this? Oh, there's something over there. There's something up here too. I wonder how I get that. Interesting. In the original game at launch, the camera was zoomed in a little bit, so you couldn't see that flag there. All you could see was that kind of like that background pillar thing. I was hoping people would see that and be intrigued and go that direction, but no one ever did. So I zoomed the camera out so that you know there's actually more stuff there. But obviously, we have no tools to deal with it right now. At least I can't think of anything that would help me get up there or across. So let's continue on. So here's one of my favorite puzzles. Not a puzzle, but in the game. So if you stand here, you will hear the Explorer coin heart, the Explorer heart, making a chime. And you can see in the upper left corner, it's actually glowing. So there's a coin around here somewhere. If you stand here long enough, a really slow platform finally gets over here. You gotta wait for quite a while though. Once you get the coin, you could just jump off the edge if you want, and you'll respawn over there, but we're not gonna do that. I got the idea for this puzzle as a kind of an homage to one of the levels in Bribe, which is one of my favorite puzzle platformers. There's a level in that game where you have to wait like hours. I think like 12 hours. It's an absurd amount of time, maybe a full day. I forget what it is. But you got to leave your game sitting there for like 12 hours straight for this cloud to arrive, and you can jump on it and then rewind time all the way back to the beginning of the level, and there's a collectible there. So this is my miniature version of that without having to take 12 hours. But yeah, always keep your eye on your heart, the explorer's heart, because sometimes the chime, when it's far enough away, when the coin is far enough away, you can't quite hear it. You might miss it, but you can at least see that your heart is shining. See your explorer heart up there. No, well, I got the coin, so it's not. Oops. So I did all that for nothing. I was looking down. That's funny. Waited all that time for nothing. Look at those creatures. What the heck are those? What's going on down there? Creepy. So a lot of this is different, slightly designed. I took away, these used to be green glow bugs. I found that people found them to be bizarrely difficult. I understand, they can be tricky, so I changed them to red, because red is just one hit. It's still the first kind of real dungeon, so I didn't want it to be too hard. There looks to be like a lower route and an upper route. There's two ways across. You can go down or up, whatever you prefer. If you want to avoid the bad guys, you can go down here. You can also see that there's a coin here. Again, I can't quite reach it. Interesting. So keep note of these things. This is kind of the Metroidvania aspect of the game, where it's like you got to come back later on, perhaps. You don't have to, but you can. I've also added the kind of glowing animation here for some of these, so you can tell where the fireballs are coming from. There we go. Yeah, this whole area is kind of redesigned just to make things a little easier, straightforward. This part's easier as well. Lots of little changes. I just watched too many people. My goal was to keep people playing the game, and I didn't want to give them that hard of a time. And every time I think I make the game too easy, it's just never easy enough. So I keep making it easier and easier. It's still challenging, I know that, but it's a bit more intuitive. If you're first time going through this game and you're trying to do the golden path, do upper. Just want to see everything. I suppose you could just do the down one, but there's a reason why I tell people to do up. It'll mix things up. It makes things feel a lot less tedious here. So this is if you choose to go up, it actually is different from going down. So this is truly a choice that affects your game. So players that go up will experience this thing. Players that go down will experience a different level. This is like an auto run sequence similar to the one you find in the beginning of the game. Prologue, the movie set. It's a cave-in, so there's all dust everywhere, blowing up. Pieces are falling from the sky. You use your slide jumps here. These jumps are really tight. Slide, stop, jump, slide. That's how you do that part. It's just a bit too long to do one slide. You can slide for quite a while, but you need to stop there. This part's a little tricky. Don't get freaked out. Just take it slow. You'll get by. Don't panic. Easier said than done. Just a lot of this game is all about not panicking. It's the main problem I see is people just rush and they panic and they make the game harder for themselves. Just try not to panic. You have more time than you realize. So we did it. We met Bronson. Obviously this dialogue is different if you went down the lower route. Here's Professor Lee. If you give a fake name, this is a little Monkey Island reference. One of many Monkey Island references. So you learn that Professor Lee's a bit of a wackadoo. He found a big ball of SP, which we need to power the ship. because the invaders ruined our ship. This choice here is just more of a joke. This is fun, quick joke. Not every choice does something crazy, but that's more of a joke. So you can just give it to him if you want. Do whatever you want. But this leads into one of the biggest changes, one of the biggest decisions in the game, one of the bigger ones. There's a couple of them, like the one in the prologue when if you choose to help the helpless man, and he lets you pick a large coin or a baseball coin, a card, or a gum. And then there's this one here where we're all trying to figure out what this gadget does. We all thought that Professor Lee would know what it is, but he can't remember. So we have no idea what this is supposed to do or be. Like, wonder how you turn it on. Any thoughts from the newbie? Well, this should be good. So now you can tell him, push the large red button. Let's try speaking to it. Eat it. I would say if you want to be a completionist, I mean, you can really do whatever you want here. They actually all do very different things. If you tell him to push the large red button on it, it will be a self-destruct button. It explodes. And what happens then is you will get, later on in the game, you will get this kind of, you'll have an interaction happen exclusively for you, for players that do this thing. Everyone else will never see that part of the game. It's just a quick, more of a throwaway. It's just a funny, weird thing. People do seem to like it though. It's quick. It makes your playthrough unique. This one is interesting because this is actually, I guess, technically the correct one in quotes. Like within the game's lore. This is how you actually turn it on, sort of. You speak to it and you actually figure out what the device actually is. And this will actually lead to a unique side quest. It will actually add a function to your base. And it's, again, more of a joke.
This
it's
week's
more
sponsor
fun,
is...
It's an entire side quest that you'll get that no one else will ever get. It involves kind of a talking bear that has bear trivia. That's all I'll say. I'll keep it as a tease. Now, this one obviously is the most outrageous of the three, eating the device. And I think most people will choose this just because of how weird it is. So you tell them to eat it. And he burps and turns Bronson into a human ear, a large human ear. Now, this is unique, obviously, for this playthrough, and this is a decision that actually changes Bronson like this, and now he's like this from now on. And so when you're playing the game, you're going to have an entirely new interaction and different little inside jokes and stuff because he's an ear. And for people that didn't do this, they're never going to experience that part of the game. And it also includes its own side quest as well. So it's probably the most entertaining of the three, I guess, maybe? I don't know. They're all good. There's no wrong answers. So if you ever want to replay the game, feel free to choose other options and you'll get to experience a whole new aspect of the game. So Bronson's embarrassed. These two guys leave. And he tells you to go get the SP up ahead here. So it should be across a gap. Whoa! What is this? A ghost? Yikes. I am no ghost. I am not here to harm you. So this guy is Elder. We'll know more about him later. I based him... when I wrote him... I forget if I said this before. It's really hard for me to remember because I can't remember if I've said this in the playthroughs that got deleted or the playthroughs that I've already done. So just in case, I'll say it again. I base every character off voices in my head of characters I like. That sounded weird. Not voices in my head, but for example, Billy, every time I wrote his dialogue, I would say his dialogue out loud as Fry from Futurama. So when I would write the dialogue, I always wanted to make sure his dialogue sounded like Fry or Guybrush from Monkey Island, The Curse of Monkey Island. For Elder, I wrote all of his dialogue as if he was Ian McKellen doing Gandalf. So he's the Gandalf character in my mind. I am but a projection of my physical self, and I have an important message for you. Huh? Me? Yes. I've been expecting you. And for quite some time. So he's Elder. He is an Elder, and his name is Elder. Wait, your name is Elder? Or you are an Elder? Doom approaches. So he's projecting himself. He's not actually physically here. He's a projection. And he tells you to come meet him on the west. And he gives you a heart of a prophet. So he's waiting for you on the Western Isle. And this is another weird part that I don't really tell people how to do this. I'm hoping that players just go, oh, there's a button on the controller I haven't used. I feel like people are smart enough to get it, but a lot of people don't. I don't blame them necessarily, but come on. Just try pressing buttons on the controller. Explore, have fun. Press buttons on the controller. It might even say it in here, though. I don't think it does, no. I need to grab the Super Duper SP up ahead. You can also just read the instruction manual that comes with the game. It tells you how to meditate. You hold down B, and you can charge it up to 3 times. See how it's filling up? That's how you do that. But before we go and do what he wants us to do and cross the gap, here's a little secret back here. If you go over here, oh, there's just a wall, right? No, wait a second. It's actually in the foreground. Here's a coin here. Nice. Let's use our power that we got. And there's actually hidden platforms here. So that's one of the powers of the meditation, is that it reveals hidden platforms, a hidden world. You can see beyond this world, and you can see platforms that are actually invisible to the naked eye. And they're usually marked, not always, but I gave players a hint that every time you see one of these flags, that maybe there's something there. Now I made this gap long enough so that it's too long, it'll run out. Like you can't be fast enough to cross this gap before it runs out. And the reason is I wanted it to run out while people are actually on it, to realize like, oh, you can actually stand on them while they're not even there. So as long as you memorize where things are, you know what to do. And another thing of this, another ability of meditating is if you hold it down, you can also shoot a blast. I don't know if you see it there, but it's a little bit of a kind of a heat wave, and it breaks boulders. So that's 2 huge abilities you get from this quest here. Here's the big ball of Super Duper SP. Let's break this. This is actually also where the demo ends. If you've played the demo to the game, this is where the demo ends. It's a pretty generous demo, actually, because this is like hours and hours and hours of gameplay. Hey, that's where I originally came in. I'm back at the start. I'm not sure how, because I was always going in the same direction, but that was a major shortcut. Just to let people know that was the start. Read this. Looks like doodles of maps and stuff. Okay. So you can't get over this thing. Let's use this. Oh, there's one of those flags. Oh, there's platforms here as well. Interesting. So you got to be careful. I don't know if you've noticed that when you use your new power here, the meditation, pushes you back. There's a little bit of a pushback, so you gotta be careful. If you're standing like this on the edge of a platform, you'll get pushed off the platform. So keep that in mind. It's a little, some people don't like it, some people like it. I thought it added a little bit of extra challenge. Some people thought it was annoying. I'm keeping it. I like it. Ooh, an enemy here. There's a flapper. Forget if we've seen them yet. I think we have. I don't know. So now I'm going through the cave again. So just so you know, this is the complete guide. If you were just playing this game to get to the end, just leave the cave. Don't go this way. Just leave where you came from. If you want to get everything, do this. So every time you saw those papers we looked at earlier that said just maps and doodles, every time you see that somewhere, usually this guy is around. an explorer. And this guy tells us, if you talk to him, that there's a Temple of the Ancients in this, somewhere in this cave. Now, I don't remember seeing a Temple of the Ancients, and this is a brand new side quest for people. So if you played this game at launch, you wouldn't have gotten this quest. But now, it's a brand new quest. You can see here, it's called Sightseeing. An explorer I found in a cave on the North Island mentioned a secret temple hidden within. If I have the time, I should try to find it. It sounds like it might be quite the sight to behold. Now again, don't open this chest. You can see me charging. So even though I've been injured, I can still use the heart. I can still charge it up. Here's some hidden platforms. Now, you could technically do all of this in the original game at launch. It just wasn't a quest. My goal with it was I wanted to reward players that explored, and I wanted them to see this temple over here and just be like, wow, I'm the only person that saw this. But what ended up happening was some people found it and thought that there was supposed to be more. They didn't realize, like, oh, it's just supposed to be kind of like environmental storytelling. And so it kind of confused people. So now I got rid of that, and I just made it a quest so people know that when it's completed, it's completed. This part's also different here as well. I thought of a fun little mechanic where you would have to use these stomping things to time your jump. So you got to time when you stomp on it to match up with that platform on the right there. I thought it'd be a fun little thing. Uh-oh. Here's the piece of art that Roderick Fernandez did. I love this piece of art. He worked really hard on it, and no one will ever see it. It's hidden away, but I wanted to give people something cool to see for those that went all the way over here. Wow, that looks cool. I'm glad I made the time to explore and find this hidden temple. A little on the nose there, but there we go. Sightseeing. Wow, that looks cool. I'm glad I made the time to explore and find this hidden temple. Now I think we can go back and tell that guy what we saw. Now this is why, well, I'll explain this in a second here. Let's go back. You don't have to go the way you came. Stomp on this platform here. It'll take you back to the beginning. Easy peasy. This was all different in the original launch game. I thought I'd make it a little more fun. Whoops. Okay. See if I can do this without looking. Nice, did it. That's how many times I played it. Okay, so the quickest way to go through this cave is to choose. Remember in that other cave through here, you can choose the upper or lower route. The upper route doesn't technically offer anything other than a new experience. The bottom route actually has explorer coins. So if you chose the bottom route your first time and you already had the rogue gloves and you've gotten every coin in that bottom route, then, well, yeah. Actually, that doesn't really matter. You don't really have to go through this all over again unless you want to get 100%. The reason I tell you to leave this chest here is let's say you did this little side quest over here and you just want to go back and talk to the map maker. You can get back to him. Now, you can't get back by going left. There's no way. You're kind of stuck, and it forces you to go through the whole 3 caves again. So people might be annoyed at that, like, oh, I don't want to do the whole thing over again, which is why I tell you to not. There's a little cheat here you can do. I left this in here on purpose. If you still have this box here, you can technically leap off of it. You can wall jump off of this box if it's closed. See how you can slide on it briefly for a moment? You can do this, and now you're back. So you can go all the way back now to the start and leave and talk to the guy. I'm going to show you how to do the whole game though, so I'm not going to do that, but I'm just showing players this little cheat here. You might even be able to use a speed potion and get across there too, I don't know. But we're doing the whole game. We're doing the complete playthrough. So let's keep going. I forgot how much these videos hurt my voice. I'm going to give it a break. I'm going to stop talking for a moment. My voice is raw. I've been doing a lot of talking lately. Ooh, what's that? I think my jump button's not working. Controller fell off my desk, and ever since then I forgot. I haven't used it in so long, I totally forgot that the A button's a little messed up. It's not a big deal, it just sometimes doesn't actually work. I discovered it while playing Expedition 33, which is an amazing game, by the way, if you haven't played it. So we've already gone up, let's go down this time. Whole new cave down here. It's funny, you put these little things here, this little platform for people to jump on, you don't even need to use it. A lot of people will struggle with that. They're like, oh man, I gotta time that jump. Just jump over it. Slide jump. There. You don't even need to use it. There's so many parts in this game that I did that on purpose where I'm like, I wonder how many people will think they need to do, like, use that. And you can really make people do things just by putting them there. They think they have to do it, but they don't. You don't have to. So that little quick part I did there, you can only access this by if you have the rogue gloves. So if you continue forwards down below, you can finish the whole cave. But this secret route up here will allow you to get some explorer coins. Tricky part there. Keep jumping over here, double jump. Jump off this wall over here, slam down, stomp, or else you will overshoot that jump and you'll miss and you'll die. Go down here, jump. These platforms will catch you. It's pretty much impossible to die there. I think I made this part easier. I'm kind of really skipping over this a bunch. Now, should I show you the other way? I should have done the blower route first and then killed myself. I can't remember if there's any coins here. Nah, whatever. We'll keep going. The lower route is just more platforming. The upper route is where you kind of want to go in that cave. I'm pretty sure there's no explorer coins otherwise. So we're already through again. So the reason whoops, I should probably use a potion here. Let's combine booster juice and that. Make a health potion for free. There. I tried to make... Oh, here's a little tip too that I've seen streamers come up with. It's really funny. I left it in here. I could fix it, but I left it in because people like it. It's a little glitch you can take advantage of. Let's say you're using your meditation and you don't like the effect. This effect here, this glowing effect. Press start, unpause, it's gone. Platforms are still there. You can see fine. little tip. The reason I made this cave have two caves, like completely different caves, though, is that I knew when players, or if players decided to backtrack through this to get everything, I at least wanted their experience to be different, so it didn't feel tedious and really like you're backtracking. You're still getting a brand new experience, even though you're going through it a second time. Because I know when I play games, backtracking is never fun. So at least this backtracking offers new stuff, new content that you could never have experienced the first time, because now you have these new hidden powers. So now we'll go back and talk to this guy. There we go. 200 SP just for that. So that's the new content that I added to the game there, the temple sightseeing mission. And we're done. We finished that little that mission. That was a tough mission. So now, what's it say? A ghostly figure named Elder gave me special powers. With some concentration, I'm able to see into realms and emit a power that breaks weak obstacles. So cool. I need to return this super duper SP to the ISC. Now we see a guy up there and one of those flags. So that might be a little tip to you, like, okay, I see the flag. That means, ooh, there we go. So this is just a quick little interaction. You may have seen it in the trailer. It actually does have a kind of a minor / major consequence, depending on how you feel about how connected you are to the game, but it actually does change some things, so based on what you decide to do here. So this guy's been feeling terrible, like something bad is going to happen to him lately. He was going to flip a coin, but I think he'll do better in helping me with this with my decision. I'd like to visit Aquarius, but many are warning me of the potential threats lurking across the mainland. The Keeper of Time has cast a spell that keeps the mainland in eternal night. This was to discourage people like me from making the trip there while they are at war. But I just have to go. I need to speak with the Keeper. I must know what this feeling is that I have is all about. What do you think? Should I make the trip or make the trip there? I think I'll be safe. Please, just tell me I'll be safe. Sorta. So you can choose to say I'm sort of new around here, so I can't say for sure, or tell him what he wants to hear. You'll be safe. You can choose whatever you want to do. Again, there's no right or wrong, but for the sake of this video, I'm going to tell him he's safe. Whoa. Good thing you told him to go. Yeah, he would have got squished and died. So you can imagine what would have happened if you told him to stay here. He would have died. Now that might not seem like a big deal. This is the one little interaction, but maybe that's not the last that we've seen of the hopeful. I'm gonna go over here. Forget if I've done this in this video. It's just another one of those transporters. For the sake of being complete, I would say if you're playing this game, if you're patient enough or you don't really care about saving extra seconds, you never have to unlock this pod. But sometimes you are over here and you don't want to walk all the way to the other side of the map to use an express pod. So if you got the spare coins, unlock it. It's 150, not that big of a deal. So now I can go anywhere on the North Island. What was in here again? Basics. This was the one that the very first level that we did. Except I remember there being a coin up here. But I'll save that for when I do the cave. I'm gonna do one giant cave. Oh, what's this over here? Oh, hey, there's a boulder there. Voices. Some say voices from the past that seek to help the future linger within. What the heck is that about? Oh, the Hall of the Dead. These must be the guys I'm looking for. Dying Wish. A sleepless soul has asked me to locate his two friends who never returned from exploring the North Island. He cannot rest in peace until he knows their souls are secured beside him. Okay, so this is one of the two guys I gotta find. It must be, right? So what is this? A Whisper Stone. Not sure what I'm supposed to stay here. It's over here. Nothing over there, right? Doesn't seem to be anything over there. Same deal here. Oh, what's that? What did that say? Okay, weird, okay. Huh. I missed what that said. Is there one over here? Do I just stand here, maybe? Oh, okay, so I just stand here, prioritize. So I wonder if I say that in here. If you listen to the voices and tell the Whisper Stones what you learn, you gotta prioritize Bailey, right? That's kind of one of the things you've been learning, kind of. You didn't put her first. You put the arcade first, you know. You were late. You didn't put things, you didn't have the right priorities. What was this one? Can I do it again? Yeah. Reliable. Okay, cool. So I'm not reliable. These are words I need to hear. That Billy needs to hear, right? You solved it. Nice. We get a little potion of speed as a little reward. So I need to find another cave on the North Island. There's not many. I think there's only one other one. Right? Have I done this cave already? Yeah. So we're supposed to go back to the... Oh, there's this thing too. Stomp on that. Nice. Another coin. We're getting quite a few of these things now. 8 bronze, 6 silver, 5 gold. Still a long way to go. So we need to give this to Professor Lee, or Mac, I guess. So I'll just skip through this. This is all story-related stuff. You get a little bit of extra dialogue here because he's an ear. Your game is a little bit more unique because of that. So you want to just go back to Earth. But they say that you can't just be stuffed in a rocket ship and sent back, because you'd be thousands of years later in your real time. So they need more power. They need to figure a way to get you back. Oh, I made a little Gilbert Gottfried reference in that little dialogue there. Maybe I shouldn't have skipped all this. There might be good stuff to talk about. I don't know why I did that, actually. So you've given them the Super Duper SP. I'm gonna sleep here. While the INC figures out a way to return the base to its original state, I'm supposed to see if any of the locals can help us out. I suppose I could head to the West Island and speak to Elder. So that's your next objective. Sleep here, get our health back. Met myself. Cool. I feel like a pig on slop day with all of us working together toward a goal. Reminds me of my younger days when I would be in the field going on adventures. I often miss her. This is one of the only kind of somewhat adult jokes in the game. It's kind of like a Shrek joke where people won't get it. Like, kids won't get it, adults might. It's not that big of a deal. Is she back on Earth? No, she was accidentally disintegrated by Lee's growth-o-matic that I was fiddling with on our anniversary. So here is one of the unique aspects of having Bronson become an ear. If you keep talking to him, So my goal here, I think I settled on this pretty quickly, but I was like, I want a quest that involves, I want a quest in this game that involves something that sounds just absolutely insane. And the first three things I thought of was a single piece of forgotten treasure, the tooth of an ancient king, and the head of a gentleman. I don't know why those are the first three things that came to my mind. I thought they sounded funny and weird. And almost just kind of like, it makes you go like, what? I'm going to be getting the head of a gentleman in this game? Like, it just kind of sets you up with curiosity. I didn't put too much thought into it. Those kind of just came to me really quickly. And this part here is interesting. You actually can decline this quest. If you don't want to, you can decline it and you will never do it. And you can't get it back. Once you say no, you can't do it. All right. And then there's also this thing here, interact. Please enter passcode. AI Doug. I don't know what the password is. Incorrect passcode. All right. So we got a new quest. Ear quest. Without any direction, I need to find a single piece of forgotten treasure, a tooth from an ancient king, and the head of a gentleman in order to turn Bronson back to his original annoying form. We've still got this. So we need to find all 4 monuments. We've had 2 so far. A gardener named Nestor told me that he would give me a timeviewer's clock if I took care. Okay, so we got that and tight squeeze. Okay. And we're supposed to go to the the north, or sorry, the west, and talk to Elder. You can keep talking to Mac. I think there's extra dialogue if you want. This is where you can kind of re-explore the base and get some more interactions from everybody. Just a little heads up. This is where you get another side quest. So this is actually interesting. If you, let's say you're someone who just cannot figure out how to get to one of the monuments, because every monument has a bit of a puzzle to it. If you can't figure it out and you don't have the Alchemist heart, you can actually go find her samples of these things. If you have 5 of any of them, I don't think I have 5. Does this count? Yeah. So we already know what this is because we have the Alchemist heart, and we already knew what it was anyway. But she will tell you here. So it's surface soil, and she'll collect it there. There it is on the shelf. She needs 7 more specimens. So you need to get 5 samples of 8 specimens. We have 7 specimens left. So now, let's say you didn't have the Alchemist heart. Once she tells you what an item is, it will actually unlock, and you will actually no longer have the question marks here. So it's a secondary way of figuring out what ingredients are if you don't have the Alchemist heart. But we do, so it's all good. But we'll still try to solve the quest anyway. It's called researching, because we're having to search again for all of the stuff that went missing, all of her research that went missing. It's a little pun, a little fun pun. Is that a pun? I don't know. Play on words? Who knows what that's called? All right, I'm getting tired. Getting near the end of this this playthrough here, this episode. I'll do a few more things though. Let's go to the other cave. We know there's one more cave in this area, so there's got to be. I guess there's a couple more caves, right? There's one right here. I already did it. And I think I remember there being... Yeah, there's this route down below. So we went up top and we completed the cave, but below, if you fall down here, I think we saw that there was a boulder here at the very end. Yes. Ooh, another guy. Here we go. Looks like just the last page of a journal. So I tried, I don't know if you're catching a theme here, but a lot of the side quests and a lot of the side content has something to do with relationships, dating, love, that kind of stuff. I tried to make everything about the side content add more value to the overall game's theme. Maybe sometimes specifically for Billy, or maybe just kind of deepening the themes, the reoccurring themes that come up in this game. So this guy needs more breathing room. There's just a dead end there. What? Dead end? Oh, wait. Ah. All right. I know I said I'd try to give you hints ahead of time, but if I give you hints every single time, this video series will take way too long. Gave us a little gift. Nice. So I suppose we can go back to the Hall of the Dead now. Ooh, look at that little secret. So that's a weird thing. Like, you would never think to do that, like use your powers here, but use your powers, use your meditation. There's not always going to be a little stick behind, but the reason that's there is that it's just so much quicker to go up here. It's a little shortcut, right? You don't have to wait for that platform. It saves a little bit of time. But use your powers as much as possible, because you will always discover hidden routes. Like this stick here. This is a hint. That's a stick. It's broken. But it looks like the stick that would normally have a flag on it, right? So there should be a flag there, but there's not. Really subtle clue. There's some things here. You can also hear, down here, you can actually hear that there's a coin somewhere. And if you look, the coin's up there. So how do we get up there? We're gonna use our power to get up top, get that coin. Whoops. Did I solve this guy already? Yeah, Cemetery Bribe, I did that. So we should be good. Oh, we haven't gone in here yet. This is a wacky looking cave. What's in here? Hey you. You gotta help me. This clown is bonkers. I know a lot of people think this is a shadow, but it's actually a hole. And there's a hole there for a reason, but you'll find out later. Alright, so this side quest is very key, because if you've watched my making of videos, you'll know that there's like over 5 ways to complete this side quest. There's action-orientated ways, there's puzzle-solving ways, there's all sorts of ways. It's pretty nuts. I'm gonna show you the best way. I mean, there's multiple ways you can do it. There's so many different ways. I'll show you one of the trickier ways, I guess. So this clown keeps this guy in a cage and he tickles him non-stop. It's just absolute torture. He also explains that he used to be on his own planet, and he was transported here just like you, this clown. And now he's just trying to make the best of it here by opening up a circus on this clown. He asks you to get inside the cage with that guy. You can decline, you can accept, or you can question. It's funny, if you accept his offer, you actually will change the course of this mission, and you will go in the cage. So he says, why don't you go in the cage and join your friend? Seems like a stupid thing to do, right? But you can go along with it, and your game will actually have you inside the cage, and you're going to have to figure out how to get out of the cage. If you decline, it'll go a different way, and if you question, something else happens. It's more of a joke, I think, as well. But we're going to decline for the sake of this video. So, in order to save this poor creature, you're going to need to find a monkey and trade him for it. Is that right? Clown Freak quest. A clown freak named Bubs is holding an alien creature captive. He said he would let him go if I could find a monkey to take its place. So you got to find a monkey now. Great. Fun fact, you can actually go over here and there's a secret here. Now, if you go inside this cave, you'll get this little bonus scene here. Depending on when you go. This doesn't always happen. This happens if you have this side quest active. So now you're like, okay, if I beat your little obstacle course, then you have to let that guy, that little creature go. That's the deal you're making. Or you can be like, this looks too hard. Let's accept. Okay, interesting. So if we reach the end of this obstacle course, he will let our alien guy go. So this is the action-oriented way to solve this quest. I'm going to show you how to solve it a different way. Because again, there's many ways. So we got to find the monkey, right? Oh, we can talk to him too. You know, I could probably slip out of here if we could grease me up. Do you have anything? See, okay, so now we've got, already we have 3 different ways. If I can't find a monkey, the creature thinks it could slip its way out if I can find something to grease it up with. If I pass Bubs' obstacle course, he agreed to set the creature free. He said he would let him go if I can. So you can. There's 3 ways to do this one little side quest. It's pretty crazy. Now, we do have something, right? Let's see. Give item. Canned chud, lovingly squeezed from the proctal sac of a heavily sedated xenoglobe. Goopy enough to eat and smooth enough to drink. It's chud. Let's try that. That's definitely not going to work. Okay. I don't know. Do we have anything in here? Morp's goo. This gift came from making friends with a pile of slime and move. I have no idea what I should do with it. It's really slippery and kind of fun to play with, though. That would probably work. But I'm not going to show you how to do it. We're going to solve it a different way. We're going to find ourselves a monkey. And we're going to do that in the next exciting playthrough of Billy Saves the World. But first, before I go, let's put an end to this quest over here. Let's go to the Home of the Faithfuls. Get some closure for those guys. And then next episode, we'll save the alien creature and then set off to the Western Island to find out who this mysterious elder guy is and what he wants with me and see if maybe he can help me. Oh, hey, it's one of those little platforms again. What happens if I stomp on it? Ooh, nice. Okay. Do I already have... Have I read these papers yet? I'm awake. I've been awakened. Everyone is asleep, but I'm awake. Break the system. Everything is illusion. Even as I write this, I can't help but think I do. I think I've done this already. I think I've read all this. Yeah. Some weird scribbles of a madman. I don't know why I love this area. It makes me feel... This area looks... I don't know. It just seems busy and... It's... I don't know. I've always liked that little elevator shaft. It kind of makes me feel like I'm actually going through some kind of lived-in area, you know? So we're back at the Hall of the Dead. Thank you for putting my soul to rest. My wife will no longer live in distress. I may finally move on from here. What's this guy say? Thank you for putting my soul to rest. My family will no longer have to wait for my return. That will never occur. I may move on from here. I've been waiting for your return to properly thank you. We 3 are forever in debt to you, but cannot possibly thank you properly. You've shown a strong sense of adventure, dependability, and reliability, all great attributes for any explorer. Remain faithful and safe travels. Again, kind of reiterating being dependable, reliable, these kind of things, you know, with the side quest. That was kind of the theme of this one. So we got a gold coin for that one and 100 SP. So if you want to complete this game 100%, you got to do the side quest. You will get that gold coin. It's essential. So now we've done everything in this cave. We've gotten the monument. We've gotten that side quest. We're finished with that cave. Very quickly. Look at this. There's so much dead space over here, and the screen keeps on going. Perhaps... Look at that. Faintly, very small platforms. hidden secrets. Again, use your meditation ability as often as possible. Another gold explorer coin, just like that. We're gonna get all 120 of them, just like Mario's stars. We're gonna get all 120 coins as well. Okay, so that does it for this episode. I will keep on going here. Next episode, like I said, we're gonna find ourselves a monkey, and we're gonna meet Elder for the first time and see what his deal is. Thanks for watching. Again, I got a podcast. Check it out. It's brand new. It's video. It supports video now. It's really fun. I do it with a lot of creatives and friends in my life. It's good stuff. So, I'll see you next time. Until then, goodbye.